I've had this for a bit now, and a few people ask me about it, so here is my take after actually living with it. I use it in a damp basement that always used to smell a little musty, and I have also rolled it into a laundry area when I had a stretch of humid weather. If you are dealing with moisture in a big open space, like a basement, a large downstairs, an attic that holds heat, or a small apartment that just will not dry out, this type of unit makes sense. If you only need help in a tiny bedroom, it is probably more machine than you want to look at every day. What made me interested in this one was the built-in pump. I have used dehumidifiers where you either empty a bucket all the time or you run a hose that needs to go downhill into a floor drain. My basement does not have a great drain setup, so I wanted something that could move the water up and out. The other thing I cared about was efficiency, because a dehumidifier can end up running for hours and hours during the summer. This one is Energy Star rated, and in my day-to-day use, it has not made me feel like my electric bill is spiraling just because I am trying to keep the air comfortable. Physically, it is not a small unit. It looks like what it is, a serious home dehumidifier on wheels. The body feels sturdy enough that I am not worried about it getting scuffed up when I roll it around. The wheels help, but if you have thick carpet or you need to carry it upstairs, you are going to notice the weight. I can move it around the basement easily, but I would not want to haul it between floors every week. The water bucket slides in and out cleanly, and it has that normal, solid click when it seats back into place. The air intake and exhaust feel typical for this category, nothing delicate, and the filter is easy to reach. Setup was simple. I plugged it in, set my target humidity, and let it run. The controls are straightforward, with a digital readout that is easy to see from a few feet away. I do not want to babysit a dehumidifier, so I set a humidity level that keeps the basement comfortable, and I leave it alone. In my space, that has meant aiming for something around the mid-40s to about 50%, depending on the season and how much outside air is coming in. Once you find your number, it is mostly hands-off. Daily use is mostly about two things, noise and drainage. Noise-wise, it is a steady fan and compressor sound. It is not silent, and I would not put it right next to a couch where I am trying to watch a quiet movie. In a basement, it fades into the background pretty quickly. I have had it running while I work out down there, and it does not bother me. At night, if your basement is right under your bedroom and sound travels easily, you might notice it, but it is more of a constant hum than an annoying rattle. Mine has not developed any weird buzzing or clicking. The pump is the reason I kept using it the way I do. I ran a hose from the back and routed it to a spot where it can drain without me thinking about it. With the pump doing the work, I did not need a perfect downhill slope. Once that was set up, I stopped emptying buckets. That is the real quality of life improvement, because when humidity is high, a bucket can fill faster than you expect. When I did use the bucket early on, the shutoff worked the way it should. When the bucket got full, the unit stopped, and it did not spill or try to keep running. In real-world testing, I paid attention to how quickly it made the space feel different, not just what the number on the screen said. My basement can start above 70% humidity after rain or after a stretch of muggy weather. With this unit running, I have watched it bring the humidity down into the 40s over a few hours, and the bigger change is that the air stops feeling heavy. The musty smell also backs off. It does not magically fix a water problem in your foundation, but it does make the space feel livable again, and it helps keep that damp smell from settling into fabric and cardboard. I also tried it near the laundry area during a week where clothes were taking forever to dry on a rack. With the dehumidifier running nearby, the room felt less sticky, and the clothes dried more predictably. Again, it is not a miracle machine, but it does what a dehumidifier is supposed to do. It pulls moisture out of the air and you feel it. Maintenance has been easy. The filter is washable, and I actually like that because I do not want to keep ordering replacements. Every couple of weeks I pull it out, rinse it with warm water, let it dry and put it back. If you have pets or a dusty basement, you will probably be doing that more often because the filter will load up faster. When the filter is dirty, airflow drops and the unit works harder than it needs to. There are a couple of limitations worth saying out loud. The size is a real thing. In a tight storage room, it can feel bulky. The hose routing can also be annoying if you do not have a clean path to a drain, because you need to think about where that water is going all the time. The pump helps a lot, but you still have to set it up in a way that will not kink the hose or get knocked loose. I also wish the bucket handle were a little more comfortable when it is full, because when you do need to carry it, you feel the weight. I also want to mention power outages, because that comes up for some people. In my use, when power flickered, it recovered without me having to reprogram everything. That matters if you are running it in a basement, and you are not checking on it every day. Overall, my impression is that this is a practical dehumidifier for people who actually need to manage humidity in a larger area and do not want to empty a bucket all the time. It has been reliable in my basement. It brings humidity down fast enough to matter in real life, and the pump setup has been the difference between me using it occasionally and me using it consistently. If you have a small space and you are sensitive to noise or you hate having a big appliance in the corner, you may want something smaller. For my situation, it has done the job and it has stayed out of my way once it was set up. If you have questions about how I set up the hose, what humidity level I keep it at, or what my basement conditions are like, leave a comment. If this video helped, subscribe to the channel for more real-world reviews. Thank you for watching.